Latest Man City news. Manchester City have confirmed a new position for Pep Guardiola following the announcement of his departure. Up next, Barcelona Omar Marmoush as Robert Lewandowski replacement, and Pep Linders is set to depart Man City alongside Guardiola. But first, citizens, make sure to like the video and check your subscription, so you don't miss any updates about the Man City. Pep Guardiola's farewell to Manchester City feels much bigger than the end of a managerial cycle. It genuinely feels like the closing chapter of one of the most dominant eras English football has ever seen. After 10 unforgettable years, Guardiola is stepping away from the dugout at the Etihad, leaving behind a legacy that completely transformed Manchester City: 6 Premier League titles, a Champions League trophy, countless domestic cups, and a style of football that changed expectations. Across Europe, even in a season where Arsenal finally took the title back, Guardiola still leaves with another FA Cup and Carabao Cup added to his collection. What made his goodbye even more emotional was the way he spoke about the club. There was no drama, no controversy, just honesty. Guardiola admitted that nothing is eternal and that deep down, he simply knew the moment had arrived. For Man City fans, that line probably hits hard because for many supporters, Guardiola became the identity of the club itself. But the really important detail here is that Guardiola is not disappearing completely. Manchester City have confirmed he'll remain inside the City Football Group as a global ambassador. That means his influence will still exist behind the scenes, helping clubs across the CFG network with technical advice, player development, and long-term projects. And honestly, that's massive for Man City's future. Even with Enzo Maresca expected to take over, Guardiola's presence around the organization could help smooth one of the most difficult transitions in modern football. Replacing a manager like Pep is almost impossible, but keeping his knowledge close to the club is a smart move from the hierarchy. Now the focus shifts toward what comes next: a new manager, a new era, and probably a major squad rebuild this summer. But one thing is certain: Guardiola leaves Manchester City as the greatest manager in the club's history, and maybe one of the greatest the Premier League has ever seen. My friend Man City fan, after 10 incredible years, do you think Pep Guardiola is leaving Manchester City at the perfect moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Manchester City could be heading into one of the biggest transition periods in the club's modern history. And now another major question mark is emerging around Omar Marmoush. According to reports coming out of Spain, Barcelona are currently leading the race to sign the Egyptian forward this summer, and honestly, it's not difficult to understand why his situation is attracting attention. When Marmoush arrived from Eintracht Frankfurt in January 2025, there was real excitement around the deal. He had been one of the Bundesliga's most dangerous attackers, combining pace, movement, and goals on a consistent basis. In his first few months at Man City, we actually saw flashes of that quality. He contributed goals, looked sharp in transition, and offered something different to Guardiola's attack. But this season, everything changed. His minutes dropped significantly, especially in the Premier League, and he never truly became a guaranteed starter. That's a huge issue at this stage of his career. Marmoush is 27 now. This isn't a young prospect willing to wait 3 or 4 years for a breakthrough. He's entering his prime and clearly wants to play regularly. Barcelona see him as a possible long-term attacking solution following Robert Lewandowski's departure. And from a financial perspective, Marmoush could represent better value than some of their other targets. Reports suggest the Sky Blues would consider offers in the region of €60 million, which could become important as the club reshapes the squad under the expected arrival of Enzo Maresca. And that's the key point here. This isn't just about Marmoush, it's about Manchester City entering a new era, with Guardiola leaving, several senior players potentially moving on, and a tactical rebuild on the horizon. The citizens are reassessing almost every position in the squad. Omar may simply be one of the first players affected by that transition. So citizens, if Barcelona really pushed to sign Omar Marmoush this summer, would you keep him as part of Manchester City's next era under Maresca, or is now the right time to move on? Share your opinion in the comments. Manchester City are preparing for a huge transition this summer, and now another major figure is set to walk away alongside Pep Guardiola. According to reports, assistant manager Pep Linders will also leave the club at the end of the season, bringing an end to what has been a short but influential spell at the Etihad. When Linders arrived last year, many supporters were intrigued by the move. This was a coach heavily associated with Jurgen Klopp's success at Anfield, known for his intensity, tactical detail, and ability to develop players. Bringing him into Guardiola's staff felt like Man City were already planning for the future while still competing for trophies in the present. What makes this story interesting is that Man City reportedly wanted him to stay, with Enzo Maresca expected to take over. The club saw Leinders as someone who could help provide continuity during a difficult managerial transition. But instead of remaining as an assistant, it appears he wants to step out on his own and pursue a fresh challenge elsewhere. And honestly, that decision says a lot about his ambition. This also highlights just how big this summer reset will be for Manchester City. It's not simply Guardiola leaving. Behind the scenes, the structure that supported one of the most dominant eras in English football is beginning to change too. For Man City fans, that creates both uncertainty and excitement. A new manager, new coaching staff, and likely major squad changes could completely reshape the identity of the team over the next 12 months. But now the real question begins. Can Man City build another dynasty after losing so many key figures at once? My friend Man City fan, with Pep Guardiola and now Pep Leinders both leaving Manchester City, do you believe the club can build another dominant era under Enzo Maresca? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is the Citizens News Fan channel, and I'll stop here. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. A big hug and see you in the next video.